Yeah, how's it going? Today's 24th of February, Saturday, and we are taking a look at the market, what kind of opportunities are available there. In the city, let's take a look at pollution, right? And that would be mines, right? And UK have recently published funding made available. Let's try to understand there might be some opportunities there. UK funding to clear mines around the world will protect more than 50,000 people. Okay. I have seen a documentary, right, where in one of the Asian countries, I think it was Vietnam, right, where I have seen a lot of signs, right. I haven't been there. There might be a lot of pollution where some of the places people can go to, right. But either way, the UK government announced £17 million to help clear explosives across Africa and Asia and raise awareness of associated risks, right? Let's delve a little bit deeper. There might be a lot of incentives for business to overcome some of those challenges. In this article, we're going to be taking a look at 8 countries across Africa and Asia to be supported through 17 million in new funding to Minds Advice Group. Okay, so there's a particular group and the Hollow Trust. Okay, so there's 2 organizations. I might need to reach out to both of those to see if there might be some funding made available and if we can perhaps help us in solving some of these problems, right? Their work will support the clearance of explosives as well as raising awareness of the danger of mines, right? They're massive territories that has been polluted. I don't think that anything can do anything within those territories. So it's just that. The things like that, and no one can do anything. Some people would be losing their legs. Things can happen, right? So that's the reason why no one's doing anything in some of those territories, right? But either way, it's a very serious problem, right? I'm just saying, right? Combined with programs announced last year in Ukraine and Afghanistan, more than 50,000 people are expected to benefit from the program, right? The program will support the clearance of explosives as well as raising awareness of the danger of mines, right? Myself, yeah, I haven't dealt with this problem myself, so I don't know if I understand it very well, but I think it's a very important problem, right? The UK's government has today announced new funding for leading British organisations, the Mines Advisory Group and Harlow Trust, to help clear mines and educate communities about associated risk in 8 countries: Angola, Cambodia, Ethiopia, even Ethiopia has it, Laos, Myanmar, Somalia, South Sudan, and Zimbabwe. Okay. I thought there's small countries, right? Asian countries, right? So something I have mentioned, right? Vietnam, perhaps not there. I think I have seen documentary. I haven't been there, right? Even there might be some problems. I didn't realize some of those countries have those kind of problems. But either way, right? So perhaps let's see if we can reach out to one of those groups, see if they have any funding available, if we can secure funding, right? It follows funding announced last year for a project in Ukraine and Afghanistan, supporting more than 50,000 people from programs across 10 countries. MAG and that Hala Trust anticipate almost 70 million square meters of land will be freed of mines in the 10 countries thanks to the case funding. The raise of land for agriculture, housing, and or basic social services such as schools, hospitals, water, and sanitation will support the promote economic development with communities around the world, restore livelihoods in rural and marginate areas such as well, strengthening local production and food security, right? It might be a very important problem, right? And the mines themselves is very tricky, right? Since they can detonate at any time. Even with UK recently, there I can briefly take a look at what's happening in UK. Perhaps people might be more interested in what's happening here, right? So it might be a serious problem, right? Even some parts of UK, right, still have massive bombs, right? Recently in the garden, they managed to find a World War II German bomb, which was half a ton, 500 kilograms bomb, and there was a lot of SMS messages that I have received about some of the things happening, right? Massive bomb, right? But I think definitely no one got injured, but even in the UK, we're still finding those bombs. So that's what I'm saying. Let's take a look at this article, right? Perhaps it's just a pollution, right? After many things happen in the past, and they're still finding a lot of bombs, right? As well as mining the different sizes of bombs. Some of those are not necessarily made all kind of things, right? Mag and Hala will also reach over 500,000 people with more than 34,000 in person explosive ordnance risk education sessions, which will significantly improve risk awareness and community safety across the country. So the different ways how you're looking to solve this problem, right? So they could. I'm not entirely sure how myself or others can help, but perhaps not necessarily in person. In person, they might have dedicated teams, but perhaps from a distance somehow, right? not actually traveling there, but either way. Today's announcement brings the total amount committed throughout multi-year contracts under the third iteration of the government's Global Mine Action Program to 28 million. GMAP has been running since 2014 and has supported a clearance of hundreds of millions of square meters land to date. The funding announced today will allow work to continue in some of the world's most heavily mined countries, such as Cambodia, Laos, as well as some of the poorest countries in the world, such as South Sudan, Somalia, until March 2025. It will also support new country programs in Ethiopia, where Hala is currently the only active international mine operator. Okay. There's a lot of things happening there. I'm gonna be taking a look at some other areas, right? But there's a lot of conflicts, right? Funding will also create new opportunities for women. Okay. For everyone, so it will be included, like Angola, Cambodia, and lost to increasing employment and clearance development in the mining with ongoing investments in the staff training. I have a feeling, right? I don't know all the details. I think it has related with agriculture season. So all the work needs to be done within the time of whenever time for crops is to be seeded, right? I don't know. It's end of I don't know. It's end of summer or something. So there perhaps there's a time limit, right? So within the next 8 months, as much of the land needs to be cleared, and there's gonna be perhaps within the cycle. So all the process might move in cycles. So they might be looking to clear a lot of land, and they might do another cycle, another round, another round. So I think it's related with agriculture seasons, right? Both of these organizations, I'll try to reach out to both of them, see if there's any opportunities how I can perhaps support this organization in solving some of the problems. Yourself, if you're interested in learning more, I have published a book project as well, where I'm taking a look at body and some of those areas that would be important for many people when approaching fitness. Three areas that will be working out, recovery, and nutrition. So all three areas will be very important when taking a look at this industry. And I would begin from entry level. I will progress up to professional level. So it will be considered as a business and how to do it. Right, it's something I have done it, as well as I'm looking to share that information with as many people as I can, hopefully bringing as many people and or understanding up to the point where you can begin making money from doing something that you enjoy. If not yet, after you have read this book, I'll hope you will. There's gonna be QR code in the corner company's website below. That was just an example, right? So there's a lot of dates, numbers, and names of organizations, and some of the work that they have done in the past, and perhaps finances. If yourself you are interested in supporting some of those organizations, I think you can make donations on both of those organizations' website, and this is how potentially capital would be allocated when it comes to demining and offering support perhaps to those regions, as well as there might be competition at the bottom of this website. I'll take a look at that most likely later. Today there would be they could offer finance in supporting an initiatives that would be great, right? So I'll be looking to engage with the team. If not, perhaps I could reach out to those two organizations mentioned. But there might be more organizations, right? I haven't, but if I have to put things into perspective, right? I think even Japan, Japan's not necessarily interested in agriculture. What Japan is interested in is purchasing agriculture products, right? This is what Japan is interested in. Japan is interested in high-end engineering, right? And sell that engineering, and from capital that they made, they would purchase agriculture products, right? So this is Japan's approach when it comes to optimizing time and people within Japan. And if that's the approach, perhaps Japan would be interested in demining a lot of area of land so there more crops would be grown so they could purchase more crops. I don't know if that makes sense, but this is some of the governments and how they approach some of those problems. That's my limited understanding. As of now, if I'll do a little bit more research, perhaps I would find some of those opportunities up there, just because that's a government strategy. Some of the governments up there, they would rather focus on high-end manufacturing and selling some of the products and purchasing relatively cheap products that would be agriculture products, right? So those governments, with the interest of those governments, would be demanding as much so those governments can produce more agriculture products, right? Thanks for watching. See you next one.